Fans. Joining us in studio this morning, Miss Amy McVay-Tellez and Desi Agular from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. I had to remember which hat you were wearing today.
That's today.
How are you guys doing this morning?
We're good.
Good
Great.
to hear it. Good to hear it. So you guys are mighty busy here lately. Obviously, with the leadership awards we were just chatting about coming up here in the very near future. The deadline tomorrow for those. But then the other thing that's going on is the teen leadership event that just went down. Correct?
Last week.
Absolutely,
right.
yes. That was a big event, and a lot of activity happening from that event.
Yep, we worked all year long building this thing up, and finally came to.
So how was the event itself? Like the attendance was it packed out? I mean, a lot of promising youngins.
Desi knows my philosophy, and my philosophy is we don't extend deadlines. And thank you, Lord Jesus, we were full
Right.
with no extension of deadlines. So that's
Awesome.
a good thing.
That's
'cause
fantastic.
That we're always talking about the day in the time of mañana, right?
Yep, the land of Manana. That's where we live.
Well, we didn't extend it, and we were full almost anyway.
We're actually over.
We were over.
We turned a couple of kids away, and then we had a couple that were unable to attend. One was ill, and another one, I can't remember what happened. But no, we had a full house. It was just the right number. It worked out perfectly.
Very cool. So what does the teen leadership event entail? Like what all goes into that weekend? What happens?
Well, each year we have a different theme.
Okay.
This year our theme was embracing the challenge, your values and strengths in action. And the Institute actually comes up with the theme each year, and Eric Evertson does a great job of putting together that whole curriculum for that. And
Shout out to Eric.
he's a great guy.
Great guy.
But he put together a great program this year. The first day they talked about everyone's values and their ethics and morals and stuff. And then the next day built on that, using each of the students' strengths and how they related to that. So they tied it all together.
Gotcha. And that's something that definitely needs to be focused on is accentuating those strengths and knowing where you excel in certain areas, and also leaning on other people and their strengths. That teams together can make amazing things happen. You just gotta accentuate each other's strengths.
That's exactly from a quote from a parent. This particular parent said, "Every student in Roswell deserves these opportunities,"
Right.
and we 100% agree.
We tried to open it up to everyone. Well, we did open it up to everyone, all the juniors and seniors around the whole area.
If we could, we'd have a lot more. Right.
Right. We would love to have
would
more
love.
representation from all the schools, but
For sure.
we didn't get applications from a few schools, and we're kind of hoping that would be different this year. But hopefully next year we can get all the schools around the area to send somebody at least.
Absolutely.
Ideal scenario is all surrounding schools,
Right.
and that was one of Desi's goals, and I appreciate that. Is we want diversity coming from all schools and bringing them together, because when they're leaving, they can pull out.
Yeah, this year we even had one from early college, and
Really?
we didn't have one last year.
That's right.
So
That's right.
was good growth there.
Yes, that's
last year
it.
we had one or two from Artesia.
Artesia.
But they weren't able this year.
Right.
So I don't know. We're just trying to get more diversity from
And
all the schools.
That's important because leadership comes from all facets, all walks,
Right.
and all corners of life. You never know where you're going to find the next leader of our community.
right. And there's so many out there in every school.
Absolutely.
And we're kind of trying to challenge all the schools to do it, because there are some of those that didn't send any, and we'd like to challenge those to get somebody out there next year.
My favorite comment comes from the students, and it's the majority, is it's never long enough. And Sean, we extended it this year, and they're saying they want more.
Right.
That's amazing.
That's a good problem to have. It
is.
That they want more.
You're presenting them with challenge after challenge after challenge, and they're just saying, "Bring it on."
Are you
We
kidding
want
me?
more.
The teachers can't get kids to, for them to say that, that's amazing.
It is.
And then, one of the survey questions we asked them at the end is like, would you recommend this? And they all say yes. They would want their friends and family members, whoever, to also be a part of this.
Absolutely.
I think on the downside, if there's one downside of it, it's just hard making those selections at the end. And shout out to the peers. Their peers have to
Right.
make those decisions.
Right.
And we could absolutely see a time where we wish we could give almost every student there deserves something.
And this year
they
we
all
did change it up a little. We gave them a grading sheet,
Okay.
and a lot of different aspects to look at to kind of rate their peers, and
Okay.
we had team leaders as well to kind of look at.
So
each
basically,
student.
it was almost like like you made it more democratic. It was more of a vote, almost like a voting system, or class ranking system,
a ranking.
but by her
Ranking.
peers.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
that's also presents an interesting thing, because like you have to individually rank your peers, and that's a lot of pressure.
Right. Well, and they also had to kind of justify why they were saying it's
That's
not
right.
saying tell me who's your favorite. No,
Right.
that
Right.
doesn't work.
Right.
So-
What skills or what leadership qualities did this person show, and give me an example. Exactly. So that's what it's about. But obviously, big scholarship money was available. $3,500, I believe, was.
No,
A lot more.
I'm sorry, we exceeded
It's
that by a
okay.
lot.
See,
that
that-
was our
that's what
minimum goal.
But Sean, that's what we started with.
They never
Yes.
tell me the need to know info around
But the
here.
good thing is, bottom line.
We gave $8,000 this year.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's fantastic. That is awesome.
And that is because of several generous sponsors. And of course, we'd like to mention those. The Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, of course, is the one that putting this whole show on. And New Mexico Military Institute also
Absolutely.
contributes not only the personnel, the programming, lots of goodies they gave the kids.
Oh.
They gave
So-
all of our meals and snacks.
Right.
They did amazing. So I'd like to thank the Institute for that as well. The NMIROTC also donated some items. New Mexico Department of Health gave some materials to put into some more
Added
of
to
the-
those amazing swag bags.
Yeah. ENMUR also donated some swag
Yes.
bags as well. So
Nice.
they had swag bags
Heck yeah.
both days.
Very cool.
And so tons of stuff in there. Pioneer Bank, Armstrong Energy, XL Energy, New York Life, Character Council Chavez County, Church on the Move, and the Chase Foundation all were donors of money for the scholarships this year.
That's awesome, and every cent that was donated is going to very worthy people that earned it and are going to put it to good use.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So we want to give some shout outs as far as like who walked away with their scholarships, or do we have the info available?
Yes, we
Awesome.
do.
So obviously it was based on the ranking system by their peers, but there was other criteria that went into making the decision, I would assume.
Yes. We also had this year a little different setup with teams. So we broke all the students into different, I guess you call them teams.
Team settings.
5 different teams, and each group had 5 to 6 students each, and kind of created a little sense of bonding between each other, and then also
did.
the competitiveness between the teams. So
Right.
made them push each other a little more. So,
Team building and a little extra competition. I watched Survivor. I get it. I totally get it.
But it just mimics a society, and may I'll put my character counts hat on for a second. Isn't that what life is about? Is pulling together different entities, coming together and working together for a good to achieve something they never dreamed they would have thought.
Absolutely.
And quoting from one of our individuals that attended this, "Hey man, I came in for the scholarship. I left not caring about the scholarship. What I got was so much more valuable." Incidentally, that gentleman did get a scholarship.
He
He
ended
wasn't he wasn't one of the top recipients, but quite frankly, he didn't care.
Right. Right.
And that priceless.
Absolutely.
So I think everything that's going on now, I think these kids are taking home valuable things they can take home to the families, and it's the trickle effect.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's amazing.
and they're encouraging all their friends. And we had quite a few juniors this year, actually.
That's a
So,
great thing.
that's
So we're
great.
looking. I was thinking about that the other night. I'm really excited about next year's class because that game's on. Those juniors are coming
Right.
loaded, and then we'll get some
Right.
others fired up. That's going to be really
We
exciting.
had a couple of seniors this year who came last year as juniors.
Yes.
So
It's going to be like a almost like the Hunger Games style competition. Like we've been through it a year, man.
That's right.
That's
We
right.
rode,
That's right.
we rode through the trenches. We
That's
know
right.
exactly what to expect.
Yes, but we are
All-Stars edition.
we are very, very excited to announce the Teen Leadership Institute 2022 scholarship recipients.
Yes.
Talissa Espinosa, Roswell High School, $1,000.
Awesome.
Simon Anaya II, Goddard High School, $1,000. Herbert Quintana III, CJ.
yes.
CJ. Hello, CJ. Maybe he's listening. You never know. New Mexico Military Institute, $1,000. Oh yeah, Noam Emerson Fleming, New Mexico Military Institute, $750. Richard Areola, Roswell High School, $750. Ava Jamison, Goddard High School, $750. And then we've got 4 $500 recipients: Sydney Crow Goddard, Nayeli Cobos Dexter, and
Koa.
Koa. He's New Mexico Military Institute, 500. Kreitz, we call it's Seth Kreitz. We call him Kreitz, New Mexico Military Institute. And then we also gave 3 $250. That's Javian Morales Goddard. Irina Quinn, New Mexico Military Institute, and Brooke Barrett. I think we all called her B. B, New Mexico Military Institute.
I like that.
And so shout out to each and every one of those.
Absolutely.
I always think of them as our family. Our family's growing, huh?
Yes.
Worthy recipients, every one of them. And I like how with the $1,000, the big scholarships, you guys split it up to maybe this is just how it worked out, but with each school getting some love.
It was. We talked about that at our meeting.
It
just a couple of
naturally
days ago.
worked like that.
It was just
Isn't that
serendipity.
amazing?
That's very cool.
And another thing that was amazing to us was the division of winners among the teams. Each one of the 5 teams had at least a couple of winners.
Really?
It's amazing.
we didn't plan it that way. It just
and
happened.
it's naturally split, all the different schools. Isn't that
That
really?
almost lends itself to what the program does in and of itself, because you put them in these teams. They had to kind of like, you got to figure out who's going to be the leader, who's going to be who's going to be the talker of the group, who's going to be the one who puts words into action. Each person has their role, and so in those individual groups, leaders stand out. And so it's not a coincidence that each group had some winners. It's because the winners stood out when they had to.
And they usually do, but sometimes you have those quiet leaders, and we do have a couple in this.
We do.
Strong silent type. Got
Yes.
That's amazing, and we
But,
can learn.
but they
so
earn the
much
respect of their peers, and it's like
Isn't that
they,
awesome?
they recognize that.
And for as long as you guys have been doing this, it's awesome that you get a chance to see that the teen groups move on to eventually become, do the Leadership Roswell program itself and actually
Right.
kind of graduate to the next class of things. And it's just awesome to kind of see that transition.
And another thing, we had one of our outstanding recipients from last year,
Right.
Haley Gonzalez. She was part of it this year. You know,
Really?
she welcomed them and was part
Yes.
of that. I think that's an amazing testament.
And she actually mentioned looking forward to leadership program. So
Well, she couldn't wait to know when is this event and how can I be a part of it. Again, that's an amazing testament to them just buying into this and seeing the value of the way they can impact so many.
I think that, and I know I try my best to take the silver lining on every gray cloud, but I think that the pandemic really kind of cemented in young people's heads, number one, how finite life is. Something could happen at any moment, but also how valuable time with your peers, time with in things like Leadership Roswell, how important that is, how vital that is, and to get kind of back to that normal of things this year, it's a breath of fresh air. It really is. I mean, it's a maskless breath of fresh air, to kind of get back to normal. So I think that also, has sort of lit a fire under some young people in a lot of ways.
I agree.
if I could get one more shout out, Eric Everson had a team of facilitators, some of the cadets at the Institute, and those were the students who helped out run the courses themselves, like the ropes course and the activities. So each team was assigned 2 facilitators each, and those guys are just amazing.
Well, a lot of them have come back from last year, huh, Desi?
Yes.
And they're, again, those silent leaders to me,
Right.
they're such a significant part of the puzzle that we could have never done without them.
Right. We could not have done it.
And it's so amazing at the end, Sean, because you saw these facilitators communicating with these kids and these leaders. I saw somebody walking down the street the other day with a shirt on, and that's an amazing thing. Something else is, Desi just mentioned, we had a formal dinner.
Yes. This year we had an etiquette meal.
Okay.
I know a lot of the students may not have been familiar with this type of thing, but at the Institute they have an etiquette dinner. Each troop has one, throughout the year to learn how to eat properly, how to the table settings, all the proper etiquette. Well,
And that blew my mind when I learned how absolutely just unkempt of a slob I am.
right.
Like, you're supposed to face the knife a certain direction. I did not know that.
So we had Miss Jean Ann Dunn came in and
Thank you, Jean Ann.
yes, thank you so much. She came in and showed our group how to properly enter a room, how to behave, how to speak, pulling out chairs,
And that's
all the details.
it's such an important thing, but it's also such a bygone thing. You never see, the important things like that these days. Pulling out chairs for other folks, standing when someone else walks in the room. These are important things that they're kind of going by the wayside. So
instead of just a sack lunch that we would traditionally have, which we did the first day, but the next day we had a very formal lunch, and it was, I think, it was a real
shout
treat.
out to Sodexo.
Yes.
Is that correct? They did an amazing job. Even the adults were really, it took us a moment to take it all in, be very appreciative. But Sean, when you get a message from one of our students saying she went home and corrected her parents and was taking value in this, boom, that's amazing.
That right there, that takes care of everything else. That makes it worth the whole thing.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And shout out, Desi and I want to really thank each and every sponsor and each and every guest speaker. Without guest speakers, that's part of the puzzle. And I think our puzzle is expanding.
Sure.
But we wanted to improve it. We were already sitting down, how can we make things better? But I'm going to tell you right now, without our leaders, every leader, team leaders, Lori Dudick, Matthew Chappell, Amber Dollar, Tim Agular, and Damon Graham, without those leaders, that was a significant part. Also a significant part is his guest speakers.
Right. We had last year we only had one guest speaker, but this year we had expanded that quite a bit. Of course, our welcome was done by Haley Gonzalez and Colonel Tate, who is the commandant at the Institute. They welcomed everyone. One of our lunch speakers was Tim Fuller with Character Counts, and he did a great speech for them. District Judge Dustin Hunter. We had coaches from the Institute. Coach Kurt, I don't know how to properly say his last name, so I won't.
He's Coach. Hey, we'll just
national champion.
We'll
Kurt.
just say national champion, Coach Kurt.
Coach Kurt.
Also, Shelby Fortner, volleyball coach from NAMI, always competitive. Rick Kraft, of course, from Leadership Roswell. Pilar Carrasco from Roswell High, he went and spoke. Miss Jean Ann Dunn, of course, she did the etiquette part. And we just had so many other volunteers who went and helped us out. Just too many to name.
It is true.
It's awesome to see that the community come together. These people who understand the value of Leadership Roswell, of the Alumni Association, and of the team leadership event specifically, that we're instilling these values in kids at a young age. We're bringing up the next generation of leaders here in this town, and if we don't do it now, then we're going to be in trouble.
Right.
So,
and I really appreciate Desi and his leadership, because we're already preparing for next year, and we're learning what didn't work, or maybe not that it didn't work, but how we could do things better. And sky's the limit. We've partnered with the Mexico Military Institute, and I'll tell you one thing: I encourage people to not take for granted that very historical structure, which we take for granted and pass by. That's
every
single day. Shout out to New Mexico Military Institute and the rich legacy that we take for granted. And this just reminds me of things we take for granted and the many different facets of New Mexico Military.
And there's so many great people there that help run that show all the time.
Fun fact, have you ever seen the George Clooney movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats? Was shot here at NIMI. It was actually, they used the campus.
I've never watched it. See, that's amazing.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty funny movie. But yeah, you'll be watching the movie and you'll just see like the lineup from like the buildings, the skyline or whatever. And it's iconic. You just know that look of NIMI. It just stands out. But that is awesome. So obviously the event, a big, huge success. Big thanks to all the sponsors. I think one thing that I kind of wanted to touch on is I grew up watching Double Dare, so I love the physical challenge aspect of things. And the ropes course is always that's like the main event. That's almost like the thing that everybody talks about every year, gets excited about. It's a big deal. So how was the ropes course this year?
Well, having such a bigger group this year.
Right.
Last year we were not able to do that because we weren't on site.
Sure.
This year we were able to return, so that was a great addition back into the program again. Also having all the extra facilitators, so they were able to handle more students.
Sure.
And of course, safety being the top priority, they were always getting the helmets on, all the rigging secure, making sure everyone
carabiners and whatnot,
everything by the book. So that is something we're very proud of. Our students are always taking that so seriously. So
they really did. And we were at the end when Desi was texting me, "Where are you guys?" And we were late right there at the end at this critical time. But what we don't realize is we take those moments. This young girl, I won't even say her name, she overcame by saying absolutely no, but you know what, absolutely no. And she overcame all the fears.
Right.
Really?
And they were all sitting there, standing there. And it was so great. I will never forget that moment. She was shaking so bad, she couldn't do her first goal. They said, you're not done. You're going to the big side. And she's like, what? And she did. So we were late.
She dug deep and was able to.
Sky's the limit. And she was telling her friend, I can't believe I did this. And I thought, yeah, and what's next?
Right. You've
so
leveled up. You already leveled up. Now what? Exactly.
It's all worth it.
These young men and women overcoming their fears and pushing themselves out of their comfort zones.
Yes.
When I remember the first time I went rappelling, this is years and years ago. First thing they did was they got me all rigged up and they said, okay, now you see that 40-foot sheer drop? What you're going to want to do is just lean over, just
Right.
lean your body over.
The lean?
Just trust the rope. Oh, okay. How much does that thing hold? Okay, I'm in my head doing physics like
Easier
okay,
said than done.
How's this going to work?
you gain weight with momentum, right? So I'm here doing like Newton's second law of physics, like an object in motion. Am I going to hold? But once you overcome your fear, once you hit that lean back and you're on belay on, and you're doing your thing, it's otherworldly, and you really do. You take yourself up a level, and then you're now what am I going to do? Now what am I capable of?
Exactly.
It's awesome.
And we had kids climbing rock walls, and once everybody's done, they're like, "Can I do it again?" They were ready.
They're hooked, you know.
Absolutely.
And then doing the zip line and rappelling.
It's special moments.
One thing you mentioned too that I hadn't even thought about was not having the program in person last year means that the returning students, the juniors last year, they're seniors now. This was their first time to get to do the ropes course.
Yes.
That's
Right,
awesome.
right,
That they
yes.
actually were able to do the program, but also have that experience. That's really cool.
And another reason we wanted to do a full 2 days because
Right.
there's just so much to do. And again, they felt like it wasn't enough time.
And that's a testament to Eric Evertson and that team of facilitators. They're going to overcome any obstacle. So to say last year was a down year, it wasn't.
No.
It was so different.
Right.
But you're exactly right. They're an amazing team of facilitators, and Evertson and that amazing team. See, my brain's already working though, Sean. Wow. What can we do next? And
Exactly.
next,
Right.
we need more Erics and more facilitators. Because if just those golden opportunities that could magnify and multiply. So there's power.
The plan for 2023 starts the second 2022 ends.
really does.
Yes.
I totally understand that. and yeah, but another thing too is with the virtual aspect of things, it's sort of it is like an added element of a challenge to kind of like suss out leaders, like to kind of eke out, because you're going to have to be able to duck and move and adjust to certain situations if you're going to be a leader, whether that situation is doing things in person, doing things through virtual or virtually, and being able to maneuver is the sign of a true leader. So it's kind of awesome that situation presented itself as a challenge to these teen leaders. It's just a cool thing.
And we're looking forward already to next year. We've got plans.
We do, and we're really excited about it. But without the community and their amazing support, none of this would have been possible. And we're just excited about it.
100%. We're already in the planning stages for 2023. And so teens out there listening, if you're let's say sophomore now, you're going to be a junior next year, you're junior in the fall time, into the springtime, that would be the time to start thinking about it. Leadership Roswell, you could start yourself on a 2-year course to really excel and be ready for the next chapter of life.
That is right. And we have had particular students that it is a realistic opportunity for them to obtain a scholarship their junior and senior year.
Yes.
Right, Desi?
Absolutely. So there you go. Well, if folks want more information about Leadership Roswell, the Alumni Association, how do they go about finding you?
Well, we do have an email, a Gmail account. It's roswellteenleadership@gmail.com.
Okay.
And that's one way to do it. We always putting out stuff on our Facebook for the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. That's where we go through that Facebook site. So
Okay.
Right. And if people are listening and want to be involved with Leadership Roswell, that'll be coming up before we know it. So pretty soon
That's
this
right.
class will be graduating, and that will be
we'll get some more helpers there.
some more flesh. There you go. Bigger
That's
team.
right. Maybe some former teen leaders from past programs.
Right.
Can make
But
their
always
way.
around January, February of every year, we start giving the information out to all the high schools, the counselors, so they will have that at that time as well.
Very good. Very good. So find Leadership Roswell Alumni Association on Facebook to learn more, and they've got all the info that you need to know. Well, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything you guys are constantly doing for the community. I mean, Leadership Roswell, you guys work tirelessly throughout the year just to pump out leaders and keep Roswell shining. So we appreciate everything you guys are doing. Thanks so much.
That's what it's all about.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Right.
very much. We appreciate it.